those last 2 fights that he had. So I'm expecting the best Shane Burgos, and I'm preparing myself for the best Shane Burgos that has ever fought before.
And I know you mentioned when you did an interview with MMA Junkie Radio, you said you want to leave this event a household name and everything. Is that more because of the matchup or just this card and everything? Like, there's going to be so many eyes on it. That's the way you ultimately end up getting that status.
Well, I think every fight I'm always trying to, put myself on a higher platform. Obviously, you get, more money, bigger paychecks, closer to that championship belt, the more people that know you. But I think there was a reason why they bumped us up to the main card. I think the bosses and I think the fans are kind of know what to expect when you see a Shane Burgos fight. I'm kind of getting that reputation too. If it's a Billy Q fight, it's going to be a banger. I've had some pretty good fights so far in the UFC. I just want to keep adding to that, and this is the biggest platform that I've been on so far.
You've obviously had some boxing history in your combat sports career. Shane's obviously an incredibly exciting, high-level, high-action striker. So how would you compare your striking to his inside the octagon?
I think my striking, it's just a little different. I've been doing Muay Thai for over 10 years. Getting ready for this fight, I've actually worked with a former world champion, Antonio Tarver. We've been doing a lot of boxing together. Luckily, he was coaching people right down the street from my house, literally like 10 minutes away. So that he was a good addition to my team. I've already had my coach, Dan Rawlings, who I've done Muay Thai with for a very long time. I like to think that I'm a little more elusive. I don't like to get hit as much where he's just coming forward. But I think this fight, I think we're both going to take, some damage.
Shane also has, I think, 5 or so submissions, just as many knockouts. So what do you make of his grappling in there as well? People don't really talk about his grappling, but I'm sure you see a lot we don't.
Absolutely. I think he's got a very underrated ground game. So people that DM me like, oh, just go there and take him down and submit him. I don't think it's that easy. So I'm not sleeping on any part of his game. I think we're both very well-rounded fighters. I think we're going to go into this fight with both have our own game plans. And I think whoever makes that mistake is going to lose because of it.
We hear Paddy Pimblett's here this week. You run into him?
No, I haven't seen him yet.
Why the dislike for Paddy?
It's not my dislike, Paddy. It's just I've seen, he's obviously blown up quite a bit. He's got a zillion followers, and he's just kind of unproven right now. He's 1-0 in the UFC. I was 1-0 in the UFC a long time ago. I'm happy for Paddy. I don't want to come up here and sound like a hater because he didn't do anything wrong. He's got that, that charismatic character, which a lot of people follow and like. So I don't hate on Paddy, but it's almost like a little bit of jealousy that he came in, got one fight, and he's already blown up like that.
Have you considered growing the hair, seeing how things change?
You know what? It's the hair and it's the accent. I think there's, like you're like the McGregor, the Darren Till. I think Americans love people that kind of sound a little bit different than us, and they're attracted to that. And I think he has like that perfect. He's got the goofy haircut. He doesn't necessarily look like a fighter, and he's pretty funny with some of the things that he says. So I'll give him credit. I'm definitely not a hater. He can go collect his money. I'm just focused on myself, and I got a tough opponent in front of me, so I can't be worried about what he's doing.
Hey, Billy, right here. Just wondering, you had talked about after your last one, I want that MSG card. Can you just walk me through, getting the phone call where they tell you, Billy, it's happening, MSG, you're on it?
Got it. Yeah, my manager called me, and it was kind of like rumored, like, hopefully you get it. And then I didn't know who I was going to be fighting. And just talking to him and them kind of talking about the featherweight division and being 4-1 in the UFC, I think they thought that it was finally time for me to get that top 15 opponent. I think I literally just dropped to my knees and thank God that this is where I'm at in my career, fighting on the main card at Madison Square Garden. It's stuff that I've dreamed about my whole career, and we're finally here, and I'm prepared to make the most of it.
Thank
you. On the right over here. To your right.
Oh, sorry, bud.
So the hometown, Ransomville, is on the other side of the state, but are you getting some hometown folks coming? You got people coming to the fights a lot?
Yeah, most of my really close friends that I grew up with in Ransomville and Lewiston, Buffalo are coming out. I actually had a lot of people where they were like, oh man, I want to come, but tickets are so expensive, or they didn't want to get the vaccine, or whatever the case may be. We do got a bunch of people here, but I also have a ton of people obviously watching it on pay-per-view from home. Good. All right, thank you guys.